Hey, welcome to my first record. My name is David Britto. I'm a music journalist based in Bombay. And on my first record, I talk to artists about their first releases, whether it's an EP or an album. And today I'm joined by Bombay-based singer-songwriter, keyboardist Aditi Ramesh, who released her debut EP, Autocorrect, in 2017. So, hey Aditi, how are you and what's been up?
Yeah. Hey, I'm good. What's been up? I mean, lockdown. I'm now a music teacher because of necessity, but it's quite fun also. So yeah, excited to talk about autocorrect.
So I think leading up to autocorrect, you had mentioned that people look at you as just another girl singer, and that folks were surprised by your voice. Did you feel at the time that you had to keep proving yourself as an artist before the release?
Um, Actually, when I started out as a musician, I mean, I'm still a relatively new artist, and it was just that this thing put on me that you need to release music ASAP, or no one's gonna know like who you are. There's no point otherwise. So I think I anyway really wanted to prove myself because I've taken this jump. I started, a little older than most new artists, and I felt like I had lost out on those years. So I really wanted to prove myself. And like, yeah, I guess I would say I didn't want to prove myself as more than just a singer, but a composer, someone who arranges music in their own style, someone who just is doing something differently. And apart from just the vocals aspect, yeah, I think I did.
And wait for the flux of time.
Let's jump into autocorrect, of course. It opens with a flux of time where you've used your voice in the most creative way. Tell me about how you composed those varied vocal transitions, and you spoke about being different, so that was something very new that you were doing.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, in some ways, I'm lucky that the first song that I put out had happened to be like so different and like very me because that really helped. I think everything that I put out subsequently. How I came up with it, literally a friend of mine showed me a guitar looper. Like I literally didn't know anything about this field before I came into it. Literally, I'm saying literally a lot. I didn't know what mixing and mastering was, for example. I didn't know that you had to put in money, to do these things. I didn't know anything. And I didn't know what a guitar looper was as well. So a friend brought that over and he connected the mic to it and said that you can use your voice on this and it'll keep building loops. You can build out of your own voice, harmonize with it. And I was just fascinated. It was like a new toy, and the bed, like the ooze, which the all the setting the stage for that song that happens was literally the first loop that I made on that guitar looper. So I just, when I was playing with it for the first time, came up with this somehow. I don't know how. And I was like, shit, I need to save this. Is it possible to save this? And you can save from a looper. Like just plug an MP3 into it and you can save. So that's how the song kind of just flowed from there. And at that point of time, I had quit, a career in law, which paid very well. My parents were really skeptical. We didn't see eye to eye on this decision for the longest time. And suddenly, I mean, in a new industry where I don't know anything, I'm not earning, but I'm trying to, put my name out there. But it's like, at the age of 27, I guess I was 26 to 27, doing this kind of like thing, it seemed pretty crazy and it seemed sometimes overwhelming and like too much to bear. So the lyrics completely flowed from that state of mind that you just need to breathe and time will do its thing and everything kind of heals and gets better over time. So I think I can't even remember how it came together. It was so quick from start to finish, just composing that song.
Because we got self on our mind. Because
The EP then moves to Stefano Minds, which hits all the right spots with jazzy blues sounds and your improvisational key solo. There's cats as well. Lyrically, you pour a lot out in that song. So, what was on your mind while you were penning it?
So that song was largely inspired by my peers at my law firm, my colleagues. I think because people in law firms or any big office where you're working late hours and you're earning well, they don't have time to earn the money they don't have time to spend the money that they earn. So it becomes like a cultural thing that at the end of a week or at the end of a deal closing or the end of anything, you have to go out and get wasted. Like it's like quick, we have only 2 hours to do this and we're gonna get smashed. And I was like, I don't want to do that, but why do people do that? And then it just made me think, why do I do that? Of course, like we all have our own vices. It could be anything ranging from coffee to like hard drugs, whatever. Like why do people do these things? And it's just because they all have stuff on their minds. They all want to take their mind away from whatever it is that's tough in their life or gets them down. So it's just self I guess introspection on all of these kind of things that led to it.
Of marriageable age, dark side of your 20s, or of marriageable age.
Marriageable Age is the next song, which features Dee MC. Tell me about how that collaboration came about and also your memories working with Dee MC on the song.
That was really fun. Marriageable Age. So I met Dee MC quite randomly. I think much before. I mean, now she's a pretty well-known name, one of the very few female MCs in India. But I think that time she was also new, I was also new. And we met at a common friend's house. We literally we had both gone to meet that friend and it happened to be on the same day at the same time. And that friend, I think, Gablu, I will say his name and thank him for facilitating that, because he saw that I'm there and she's there, and he's just a good friend who's proud of both of us. So he's like telling me about her work. She's writing an EP, she's an amazing hip hop artist, amazing rapper. And then he's like, she used to be a lawyer, check out her music. And he just kind of put it together. And then I think when we started talking and we also heard each other's work, we just immediately vibe and we were like, we have to do something together. And I think most women in India will have this shared experience of other people trying to interfere in their lives and putting this thing on our heads that you need to get married before you do anything else in your life, especially after you hit a certain age. I call it the dark side of your 20s in the song. So I think we really connected on that. We're both South Indian, we both have very conservative parents, so I knew that like when I had this idea for the song, that I had to get her on it to just really put that power into it, drive the message home.
Swimming against the current of life, but isn't always very nice.
And then the EP closes with Small Fish in a Big Pond, which I feel like sort of encapsulates your Carnatic music side with your jazz and blues side. So how do you feel about incorporating this fusion element into your music in quite a unique way?
I think it's interesting. Actually, if you look at all of these 4 songs, when I released the songs, Spotify wasn't yet in India. SoundCloud was much bigger then than it is now. So I actually released them one by one over 1 month. I think probably 1 month, one a month maybe. But I released them before putting them on all platforms as singles, but not in the same sense as we would do it today on Spotify or Apple Music. So this song came out the last, and the first 3 songs came out in 2017, but this song came out only in Jan, finally, of 2018, because I was waiting for a friend to play violin on it, and then he's too busy for me, so he didn't eventually play on it. But we did get another friend, a common friend of actually me and the violinist Siddharth Bharadwaj, who played flute on it. And I think it's kind of cool that it came out a little later than the others, because it's kind of the direction which my music took after Autocorrect, and it is maybe a little bit more I don't want to say sophisticated, but just a little bit more sure of myself than the first 3, which are very raw, which I like. I mean, I'm glad that they came out the way that they did. So yeah, it is very much, it's more of a Carnatic jazz fusion track. It has the scat portion in the middle, which with the piano playing the same notes, and it's in a polyrhythm. It's on a 3/4 rhythm, which my drummer Ishan loves to play. And I think that kind of polyrhythms are like, just 2 counts of rhythm played on top of each other, and it's very deep rooted in Indian folk music. A lot of our, even like Ganesha and Dhols and all, they have those polyrhythms. So I think when people hear it, even if you aren't getting it, like somewhere it just connects with your body rhythm. You start bobbing in that groove. So I really love that groove of it.
Right.
And it's actually my favorite song to play solo nowadays. Because of Corona, I have to do solo live stream gigs. I like playing that because it's very full in itself with just the piano and the voice. And yeah, this entire EP was exploration because I didn't know who I was as an artist, and I didn't take time to think about that or learn covers and then come to doing this. I literally quit my job. I started being an artist and I started making these songs and putting them out. So it's very real time development as a person and as an artist. So I think this was a good closer to the EP.
And I think you worked with Keenan Thomas, who helped you record the EP. So looking back on the recording sessions, what do you remember from it?
They were a lot of fun. Keenan is the friend who actually gave me the guitar pedal for a Flux of Time.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I think he also quit his corporate job around the same time as me, and he went to Swarnabhumi to study production, and then we reconnected when we both found that we had met years ago when we were both in corporates, and then reconnected, then saw that we both had kind of shifted towards music. So the recording sessions, like the entire process of this EP is so raw. That is the word I would use compared to, stuff that I record now or stuff that I recorded later. And it was super fun because it was all recorded at home. Keenan's home and the friend Sharan's home. And even the vocals, they were done in a vocal shield, but inside the home because, I mean, we were new, we didn't have budget. We still don't have budget. That's like a perennial problem. But I think that kind of very DIY setup of recording and the whole style fit the entire vibe of the EP. So we had a lot of fun when we would get frustrated. Like it was a very home vibe, I guess. So it's like you get frustrated, let's go downstairs, let's eat ice cream, let's come back. It was a really, really good time in my life. It was a lot of hustle in that time because I had a full-time day job even after quitting law, and it was literally the hours that I had free to work on music were early morning, like 6 to 9 a.m. and then post work at the night, and then Saturday, Sundays, full days. So like for 2 years of my life, I have literally worked 7 days a week from early morning to night. Like I don't know how I can't do it now if I have to do it, like just that level of intensity. So I think given all of that, it really meant a lot to be able to record it and put it out because it encapsulates all of these things about that time. And the drums and the bass. So till today, I think I like to record the band instruments together in one take, and then I redub my vocals. I'm slowly moving towards producing part by part, but I liked that vibe and I still do. So the drums, the bass and the keys for Stefano Minds and Small Fish were recorded together at NZ Studios. Like I didn't even know about what is a good NZ Studios is where most Bollywood people record. It's not really where indie musicians record original music.
Okay.
I literally I didn't know what good studios were. I didn't know where to go, and someone just mentioned this, so we recorded there. So that was my first studio experience ever, and it was pretty fun. It was enjoyable. It was a big room where usually Bollywood bands and stuff record, and it was quite fun. Yeah.
And before I let you go, I just wanted to ask your final thoughts on the entire project. Looking back now, it's been a couple of years since it's come out, and you've released new music after that as well. So what does this project mean to you looking back on it?
This project is what started everything. I think even till today, some of the songs from Autocorrect have been my most popular songs. Like if I play a gig, people will shout out "A Flux of Time," "Manageable." These are two of the favorites. Fusion people also like the other two, but these two songs have been like the most favorite songs of everyone, and I think that like this entire EP is like a time capsule for me of that time because it was a very important and difficult and strange time of transition and growth. Literally, when I listen back to the songs, like now when we play the songs live, in my opinion, I think they sound a lot better now because generally it's more refined. There's been growth over the years. The instrumentation has become a little more nuanced. It's not exactly like it is on the record. But I'm still happy that the record is the way it is. It is raw, it is young, it's fresh, and I wouldn't change that.
Amazing. Thanks a lot, Aditi, for your time. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise, thanks for having me. It was awesome.